En Conexión Rock Radio conocerás las historias de las bandas más importantes del mundo.
Enter the official German chart again on place 41. That is a very big success for a band like Anchor.
Sus orígenes.
I want original, authentic reunion.
Momentos importantes y planes para sus fans en el futuro. Los escucharás en nuestras entrevistas internacionales. Muy buenos días, buenas tardes, buenas noches, damas y caballeros. Un gusto que ya nos estén acompañando ya completamente en vivo aquí en Conexión Rock Radio. Ya a unos cuantos instantes de hacer historia para hacer una transmisión muy pero muy especial para todos los amantes del universo de Helloween en toda Latinoamérica y resto del mundo. Les saluda Johnny González, para mí es un gusto que ya nos estén acompañando y como dijo alguien por ahí, el huerto de las calabazas hoy está de fiesta. ¿Y por qué? Simple y sencillamente en estos momentos vamos a estar estableciendo contacto hasta Alemania con el señor MICHAEL Kiske, vocalista de HELLOWEEN. Vamos a estar aquí conversando de la actualidad, el futuro de la banda, el United Alive, que es el concierto que ya en breve va a estar saliendo a nivel mundial en las diferentes plataformas y en diferentes formatos. Una interesante retrospectiva por su vida, su sentir en Helloween, de volver a una banda que definitivamente no tuvo que haber salido.
Hello?
Hello, good evening, Mr. MICHAEL Kiske.
Yo, that's me.
Michael, good morning from Honduras, Central America. Johnny Gonzalez from Conexion Rock Radio sends a big greeting for you in this day. It's a great honor to make this special interview for all the people here in Latin America and rest of the world that are fan of Helloween and share in this special program upcoming news from the band in this year.
Yeah, that sounds great, man.
Damas y caballeros, Latinoamérica, resto del mundo, MICHAEL Kiske, Latinoamérica, resto del mundo. Así que ya, la voz, en vivo, lo tenemos por acá, señores. Michael, this special interview will be in English with quick translation in Spanish for the people here in Latin America. Are you ready for the questions?
Yeah.
We want to know what are your personal impressions about the Punk United World Tour. For many, it's one of the most important events in the history of Helloween. In the same time, marked the return of KAI HANSEN on guitars. In a few words, we can die happy in peace. How do you feel about returning to the band after many years of absence, Michael?
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. I mean, I didn't expect anything like that to happen for a long time. It was a long process until it finally got to the point that we wanted to do it, but it turned out really well, and that made it very exciting, of course. I mean, it's a bunch of very different people. Like, everybody is very different in the band, so you never know what's going to happen, but it actually worked out very nice, so everybody's pretty excited about it.
Amigos, le hemos preguntado aquí a Michael acerca de cómo se siente él después de muchos años de regresar a Helloween y por supuesto de sus impresiones con esta gira mundial. Ha generado la atención de todo el mundo. Él nos comenta de que esto ha sido un proceso que ha tomado mucho tiempo, un proceso muy largo, que finalmente llegó a un punto en que todos los involucrados querían hacerlo, pero resultó al final de cuentas un resultado bastante excelente. Esto ha sido muy emocionante, por supuesto, y él ha querido decir que esto ha sido para él, desde su punto de vista, hacer un montón de cosas diferentes, trabajar con diferentes personas en diferentes lugares. Dice él de que en la impresión personal él nunca sabe lo que puede pasar en realidad, pero al final de cuentas en esta gira todo funcionó bien, así que él está muy entusiasmado con esta exitosa reunión que ha tenido la banda en estos 2 años que ya ha tenido el tramo de Punk United World Tour y en el cual pues todo el mundo ha disfrutado en los diferentes puntos del planeta. Michael, we like to share for the people that are listening to us in this day how everything happened for your return to the band. What are your feelings to see again Michael Weikat, Marcus Grosspop, KAI HANSEN, and of course the current lineup again?
I mean, I was doing Unisonic with Kai anyway. I mean, that was nothing new. But it all kind of started for me with running into Michael Weikat in about 2013. I was on the road with Avantasia, and I ran. I think it was in France. I ran into Michael backstage, and we talked and stuff, and that was like the most important thing for me, that kind of felt good, and I was not angry anymore or anything like that. That was like it was around 2013 that happened, and it took 4 more years, until we finally were able to do it. But that was the beginning for me, With everybody else, things were fine anyway,
Él nos comenta de que todo esto comenzó allá en el 2013, cuando él y Kai estaban pues trabajando con Unisonic. De repente, pues las giras y todo esto pues estaban empezando a tomar un rumbo completamente diferente. Se encontró en 2013 con Wake Up en una gira, y al final de cuentas, de una larga plática, él ya no estaba enojado con la banda, ya no tenía ningún resentimiento al estilo. Todo esto a partir de 2013 comenzó a ser como una especie de camino allanado a lo que sería actualmente esta reunión. Así que durante muchos años han tenido comunicación, y al final de cuentas esta reunión ha sido posible. Y para él, simple y sencillamente, de todos modos, era un ciclo que estaba pendiente de cerrarse dentro de la historia de Helloween. What experience led to you in interact with the fans in different countries around the world with the band players, and especially share microphones with Mr. Andy Derris?
Yeah, great. I mean, that was a very long tour, and we recorded a whole bunch of shows. I mean, we recorded Brazil, Madrid, Prague, a bit of Wacken is in there, and it's some kind of a good example of what went down, in those 14 months that we were on the road. Yeah, it's pretty exciting. I mean, it's like it's always difficult what to choose. I'm kind of happy that we didn't take a complete show and took just one concert. I kind of like it to be like a mixture of everything. That's what it turned out. I would have gone even more in a documentary type of way, a lot of backstage scenes and stuff like that, rather than just live concerts. I must say I haven't really seen it yet, so I don't really know what it's like, But yeah, it's an interesting gig, especially with all 7 of us, because you can do so many things,
Él dice, este álbum en vivo fue un resultado completamente inesperado. De repente las cosas tomaron forma cuando la gira estaba empezando a armarse, y de repente la banda decidió sacar junto con su personal todos sus equipos para grabar estos diferentes shows. A veces estas fechas eran completamente un desafío para la banda en elegir el setlist. Ha estado contento de que hayan asistido mucha gente a sus espectáculos. Todo resultó muy bien. Por ahí se está preparando, o de hecho viene en esta edición especial del DVD, una especie de documental de backstage por ahí, de cómo se sienten ellos, de cómo se reunieron y todo esto. Así que va a ser muy interesante conocer diferentes cosas que la gente está esperando de Helloween en este trabajo en vivo llamado United Alive. We have some greeting for you in this special interview, Michael. Carmen from Mexico City says, I see you in Mexico City. I love it. You play very, very well. Waiting Sunday, you play again in our country.
All right, thanks. Yeah, we're going to play there again, I'm sure. I mean, that was a great arena. Was a very nice venue. Pretty unusual, that Mexico has such a beautiful modern kind of venue. It's a very, very, very exciting place.
Pues simple y sencillamente México es de los lugares más preferidos de Helloween para tocar en un concierto, y que también están a la espera de que puedan tocar completamente en vivo en esas latitudes. My friend Milan sent a funny question. What happened to the last 2 Kiss?
I can't really, I've been singing the lyrics for such a long time that I don't really think about what I'm singing there. I don't know. You got to ask Mikey, actually. He's the one who wrote it, It came out of his head.
Bueno, Milan, ya escuchaste. A la próxima vamos a tener que abordar a Waycat. Es la persona más indicada en que te pueda responder sobre la letra de Keeper of the Seven Keys. Es una de las canciones más icónicas que tiene Helloween en su historia. Sería muy bueno preguntarle a Waycat en el futuro.
Pretty interesting question, because I was never thinking about it. There's actually 2 keys missing. Maybe the song would have become too long or something like that.
30 minutes and 5 keys.
Yeah, probably.
The next question, Michael. We know that the band, we covered the position that Megadeth leaves because the illness from Dave Mustaine.
Yeah.
The dates are in South America, especially in Brazil. The question is, for many fans here in Brazil and South America, we made changes in the set list, can revisit songs from Pinballs Go Ape, Chameleon, or Beer Sides?
I think we're not going to change that much. You know, I wanted to sneak in like one of the old songs that we haven't played, but nobody actually wanted to do it. The thing is, we didn't actually plan to play live this year at all. You know, it was supposed to be no live playing, and we just wanted to concentrate on the album. But since Dave got sick and they got off the tour, and they asked us if we could jump in, everybody wanted to do it, so we did it. But it's not that we really have like a new kind of set prepared or anything like that. So it's going to be not more than 75 minutes anyway. So it's just going to be, you know, a selection of the songs that we've played on the last tour.
Para la gente en especial en Sudamérica, como ustedes saben, Megadeth pues no va a estar tocando debido a la enfermedad de Dave Mustaine. Así que Helloween va a estar tomando su lugar. Le hemos preguntado a él si hay alguna posibilidad, por mínima que sea, si van a haber cambios en el setlist. Por ejemplo, tocar canciones de Pinballs Go Ape o Chameleon. Están intentando ver qué cambios o qué sorpresas pueden ofrecer en relación con las viejas canciones que no han tocado durante muchos años. En realidad, el resto de la banda ha tenido una iniciativa fija de tener los clásicos a la mano. Desde que han estado haciendo estas giras, la interacción ha sido muy interesante. Así que realmente es completamente impredecible los cambios que pueden tener en estas próximas giras. Así que de todas maneras, en cada presentación en Sudamérica van a ser 75 minutos de placer garantizado de algunas sorpresas que van a estar ofreciendo en esta oportunidad Helloween. Arturo Velano from Mexico City says, big hugs for the boys of Helloween, the most privileged boys in the metal around the world. We know that the first days in Mexico City was sick. How do you feel using playback in Mexico City because you boys have troubles, Michael?
Oh, that was something that I usually would never do, but it's like the band didn't want to cancel the show.
Mm-hmm.
I had no voice. I mean, it was okay in the beginning. I mean, it was not completely playback. It was just certain spots here and there when my voice completely died. But I was like, you know, guys, I really can't do it. But the band said, you know, we don't want to start the tour with a cancellation, so let's do something. And we still had recordings from previous rehearsals and stuff like that. So the sound guy had the order that when I fuck up, he just sneaks it in, you know. It was something that I never did before and something I won't do again because I can't, you know. I just don't know how to do things like that. So it kind of messed it up.
Mm-hmm.
But it was a funny experience, you know. It's not funny for a singer, you know, to be sick.
Mm-hmm.
But it was funny, you know, to do something like that. But next time when I don't have a voice, I either just sing bad or I don't do the gig, you know.
Cuando llegó del avión a bajarse a Ciudad de México, se sentía muy enfermo. Pero la banda en definitiva no podía cancelar el show. Él prácticamente no tenía voz. Se sentía muy bien al principio, pero no del todo como se esperaba. Así que pues por ahí el ingeniero de sonido que venía en la gira le propuso, tenía algunos registros ahí guardados, que esto le podría utilizar como una especie de playback para que le pudiera ayudar a que su voz no se fuera a estropear más del todo. Para él dijo de que esta fue una experiencia que no fue del todo agradable, pero esto era parte de un compromiso que tenía que hacerse por los fans. Al final de cuentas, todo salió muy bien en todo lo que es la gira de México y por supuesto del resto del mundo. I remember when you play in Mexico you had problems. In the last question, of course. In the show for Costa Rica, San Jose, Costa Rica, a few hours ago, before the concert, accidentally broke my foot. It's a very, very bad experience for me. But was enjoying the show the start to finish. I remember that start with the song Halloween, my jaw dropped in the floor when I hear you and says, man, the voice is the same like 87. What is the secret to keep your voice in good shape?
You have to be aware of what you're doing. You know, you have to. Also, when you get older, the voice, the whole body is changing, and you have to adjust to it somehow. But I don't know what it is. I mean, I can really sing the same shit the same way if I want to. I just guess I'm doing something right. You know, it's really hard to tell what it is, but it's I think I don't violate my voice. Somehow I do it in a way that my voice does not get hurt or anything like that. When I'm on tour, as long as I don't get sick, my voice is always good, and it basically gets better by touring, you know, because it gets trained and stuff like that. And that's always a sign of a singer doing it right technically. You know, when you as a singer, you on the road and your voice gets weaker and weaker every show, you're doing something wrong, you know. This is always a good sign of if you have to change something in the technique or something like that, you know.
De repente todo esto es cuestión de cuidado. A veces no es lo mismo 1987 que 2019. Todo pasa y envejece. Dice que todo esto obedece a un cambio de proceso en el cuerpo, pero la voz siempre se mantiene prácticamente como intacta. Simple y sencillamente no puedes cantar lo mismo que hacías en aquellos años como ahora. Simple y sencillamente es como arruinarte la voz. Que cuando se somete a gira, él tiene que estar muy cuidado en la cuestión de la voz, no esforzarla mucho, que cuando está enfermo es una señal de que hay que tener mucho cuidado. Pero para él, siendo vocalista, él está consciente de toda la técnica que implica hacer el tratamiento de su instrumento, en especial la voz, y mantenerlo muy pero muy al día. Martin sends greeting for you in this day, Michael, and says, what is your favorite song in a live show?
Well, I have a few, but it's like I really like Eagle Fly Free. This is like, it's always very powerful. Keeper is great. A whole bunch that I really like, but especially Eagle Fly Free. Maybe also March of Time. You know, these are like always very powerful live.
Las canciones favoritas, Eagle Fly Free, y por supuesto algunas canciones de Keepers, que son de las más emblemáticas. Dice que esas canciones de esos dos álbums tienen un sentimiento muy especial, que proyectan esa fuerza poderosa que cuando él la canta en sus canciones es lo que hace muy pero muy especial. Ahora viene una de las preguntas muy interesantes que la gente desea escuchar. Michael, we had one of the highlights questions in this live interview. We know that the band is now recording for a new album, perhaps sometime in 2020, the next year. The question is, the band we made the conclusion of the Keeper saga, like example Keeper Part 4, or we had an album that combines the new and classical elements of Helloween?
It'll be a combination of everything. I mean, it's not the band like in the 80s, you know. It's now a history of 30 years at least, and you have 2 vocalists or 2.5. You have 3 guitar players. You know, you have had my years, and then you've had like a lot of years with Andy. So it's like it's a different band. So I would say it's probably going to be a combination out of everything, you know. There'll be songs that I sing, and there will be songs that Andy sings. Maybe Kai will have a share. Then we will do duets and stuff like that. But it's really hard to tell what it is when it's not done, you know, because at the moment we just have lots of ideas, and we just have to see where it's going to end, you know, where it's going to go.
Posiblemente sea un álbum con mucha variedad. Es un álbum que viene a consagrar una historia de una banda de 30 años. Así que si tienes 2 vocalistas que puedan manejar pues un rango muy interesante, hay que prepararse porque todos los involucrados van a estar ofreciendo matices diferentes. Kiske va a ofrecer un matiz diferente, Andy va a ofrecer un matiz completamente diferente, igual con KAI HANSEN. Probablemente sea una combinación de todo, que en este disco van a haber duetos y cosas muy interesantes. Michael, many people, especially the singers of metal around the world, see in you an important influence. And the message is, thank you very much for your talent that made in all these years.
It was people like Bruce Dickinson, you know, Robert Halford, Ronnie Dio, Elvis Presley, believe it or not.
Oh.
Big influence, or Jeff Tate from Queensryche, you know. It was these kind of vocalists that inspired me. And that's always the way it is. You know, you grow up being excited about bands, and maybe you get that excited about a certain band that you want to do music for yourself. And this is always how it goes, you know. It's like I would have to pass that candle on to those guys, you know. And I don't know where they got it from. I'm sure they have the other musicians that inspired them, you know, like in the 70s or whatever. It's just the way it goes, you know.
Uh-huh. Escuchen, amigos.
It's great. I mean, especially when you inspire people. I had an interview like 2 weeks ago with a German guy over here. Or maybe I'll let you translate first and then I continue with the answer.
Pues para muchos, por ejemplo, él comenzó escuchando vocales como Ronnie James Dio, Rob Halford o el mismísimo Bruce Dickinson, incluyendo Elvis Presley, créanlo o no. Dice él, esto me inspiró y que siempre ha sido una forma de crecimiento como vocalista. Siempre he estado entusiasmado con las bandas y con los diferentes artistas. Te emocionas tanto que cuando escuchas a cierta banda deseas hacer música para ti y de repente pues sientes aquella sensación de tratar de emular la voz o el registro de esa persona. Con el paso de los años vas conociendo de que tienes que tener una identidad propia. Gente que te ha inspirado en los años 70, actualmente mucha gente ha tenido la oportunidad de acercarse a él y decirle este tipo de comentarios que han sido completamente halagadores y que al mismo tiempo él ha sabido recibir de muy buena manera estos comentarios de parte de la gente que le ha tenido mucho cariño a Helloween y en especial a un icónico personaje como lo es Michael Kiske. We had a special greeting for you, Michael, from La Paz, Bolivia, Sudamérica. Lorena says, lots of love from La Paz, Bolivia. Thank you so much for your effort. Even though we are few in number, we love you guys here in Bolivia. We hope that maybe in the future consider coming here again with the band.
Oh, we did. I'm sure we're going to come back then again. You know, this is always like the management who makes these kind of decisions, but when we played there, I'm sure we're going to come again.
Thank you so much for your answer for my friend Lorena, here in La Paz, Bolivia. Lorena, ya escuchaste, así que es la respuesta que te ha estado dando aquí actualmente Michael Kiske. We had a special question for many people that are listening us in this live interview. Perhaps it's a hard question. Do you have in the recent years communication with Roland Grappo?
Me, no, I didn't. I mean, I saw him a few times when we play. I mean, before the Helloween thing, when we were touring with Unisonic. When we played like closer to where he lives, he showed up a few times backstage and stuff, and it was all nice, you know, and all that. I don't really have a problem with him at all or anything like that. But there's no a very close contact, you know. It's just him showing up occasionally when we played with Unisonic. You know, and actually once he was actually like I think 2 or 3 shows he was actually opening up for Unisonic with his band. I remember that. I think that was around. I'm not sure, but it could have been something like. Or was it an Ed Guy tour? I can't remember. But there was one occasion where he was opening up with his band. But there's not any very close contact or anything like that, you know. It's just occasionally meeting him.
Él ha estado en comunicación con Roland hace años atrás. Por ahí dice de que han tenido conversación, han limado asperezas y todo esto. Y que no ha tenido ningún problema con él en nada, a pesar de todo lo que ha sucedido en el pasado. A pesar de todo lo que ha tenido, todos los problemas que se generaron en el pasado, decidieron juntar caminos con Unisonic, que pues por ahí en algunas giras dice que no recordaba mucho. Por ejemplo, con Ed Guy había una ocasión en que él estaba pues abriendo con su banda y que ellos han estado en un contacto cercano. A pesar de las agendas han estado un poco alejados, pero siempre han tenido ese contacto entre Kiske y por supuesto con Roland Grappo. Many people in this special interview want to know, is Michael Kiske married, single,
No, I'm not.
had children?
I was living together with a girl for almost 23 years.
Mm-hmm.
But that was over like in 2009. It was over before that, but that's when I moved out and stuff. And since then I'm on my own, you know.
Para las chicas, están en buena hora. Michael Kiske está soltero. Actualmente ha tenido una relación durante más de 20 años, a pesar de que pues terminó en 2009, pero debido a todos estos compromisos musicales, proyectos y todo esto, él actualmente está soltero. Yo creo que Connie va a estar ahí más que contenta que han estado al pendiente de este tipo de respuestas. Sammy Castle from San Salvador, El Salvador, sends greeting for you in this day, Michael, and says, Michael, it's a great honor here to you in this day. Greetings for a pro fan of Helloween from San Salvador. Help me with some advice. What do to hit higher notes when singing heavy metal?
It's very difficult to say because everybody is different, you know. Everybody has his own voice and his own way of singing it, but and some people can do things that other people can't. You know, when you look at Robert Halford, for instance, he's always singing so rough. You know, I don't know how he can do it, and he can still do it. You know, he still sounds fantastic. But if I would sing as heavy as he did his entire career, I don't think I would have a voice. So I would guess his vocal cords are out of metal. I guess I haven't got, you know, it's the only explanation I have. But everybody is very different, you know. And you have to. It's very important to figure out for yourself, you know, how to do these things and how they work for you. You know, the only advice that I would give is it should never hurt. If it hurts, something's wrong, you know. It should always go easy. It should always feel right, you know, and it should never hurt.
La respuesta que te ha dado Michael es la siguiente. Bueno, dice que cantar metal o en altas notas es algo completamente diferente. No todos tenemos este tipo de talentos. Por ejemplo, si te fijas, Rob Halford tiene su propio registro vocal. Parece quizás algo rudo, dice, desde el punto de vista de cuando lo miras haciendo estas notas altas. Pero ¿cómo puedes hacerlo? Esto es cuestión de ejercicios para que tengas un desarrollo en todo tu rango vocal. Esto es de educar la voz y de ensayarla, porque sí, llegar a notas altas es algo completamente difícil y que lejos de buscar una ambición puedes hasta tener en cierta forma problemas en tu voz o dañarla, y eso pues puede generar un efecto muy negativo cuando quieras buscar cantar en notas altas. Maui sends greeting for you. I am a huge fan from Mexico City. I followed you for many years. In this occasion, I followed you for many tours, especially in Brazil, Sweden, and upcoming Rio in Brazil. I waited to see you again.
All right.
Bueno, Maui, ya escuchaste. Ahí te está mandando saludos aquí Michael Kiske en esta oportunidad. Bueno, saludos a todos. Y por supuesto, Alex, espero que la respuesta en relación con Ronald Grappo haya quedado por ahí más que aclarada. I made a brief parenthesis, Michael. In the tour from San Jose, Costa Rica, I want to know if my dear friend Costa Zafiro hand to you a necklace with a pumpkin made of wood?
Mm-hmm.
This special gift I sent to you in the hotel. In this moment the whole band is sleeping. This special gift, the necklace, a big pumpkin made of wood, was made in Honduras. From many love and respect from the brothers Gabriel and Evianey Rodriguez from Artesanías Roqueras de Honduras.
All right, thanks.
In your vocal range, what is the most difficult song from Helloween to sing live?
Let me think. They're all pretty okay, really. It's like they're all very melodic, and as long as the song has ups and downs and high and lows, it works. You know, what I find a bit difficult when something is at one tone the whole time. You know, but pretty much all the Helloween songs are very, very melodic, and there's a lot happening in terms of ups and downs and everything, and that's why it is actually pretty okay to sing, you know. Maybe March of Time is difficult.
Escuchen, March of Time, la canción más difícil para cantar en un concierto. Sí, por los agudos y por la parte del coro, que yo sé que mucha gente deseaba saber de los altos y todo esto de los agudos. This is a kind of rumor or urban legend about the concert in the UK. Is true or false that the album we have 15 or 16 songs?
I can't really remember. What's the question? If it was, I mean, we recorded the whole show, but it ended up being like a shorter version. I haven't really. It's such a long time ago. How many songs are really on there? Do you know that?
We know that the album it have 7 songs. It's perhaps the most short.
Okay. Yeah, probably. I don't know. I really don't know. Maybe it's such a long time ago. I really can't remember how that came about. You know.
El show fue muy corto, aunque él no recuerda algunos detalles técnicos, que si habían más canciones en sí, pero que al final de cuentas el concierto pues tenía 7 canciones, que es, 6 en algunas ediciones y 7 en las especiales. My friend Finis says, Kiske, you are the best singer. I had a little cat called Pumpkin. I am happy to hear you in this day. I say many greetings, many love, listening now this live interview with you.
All right, cool. There are actually cats even in Japan being called Kiske and stuff. I think in North America there was a guy who had a dog or something like that was called after me and stuff, which is funny.
Dice él de que pues por ahí con muchas mascotas, por ejemplo en Japón le han puesto el nombre de él, por ahí algunos perros. Dice que esto es muy divertido en especial por los fans. What is your impression about the current scene in power metal today, Michael?
I don't really pay much attention, I must admit. You know, it's like since the 80s, I had the bands that I liked and I followed, and occasionally I was picking things up. But nowadays, I hardly listen to very loud music. You know, especially now that I'm doing it myself again. I rather listen to like the stuff that I grew up with, like Elvis, or I like Cara Dillon, this Irish singer, which is very silent music, or I listen to a lot of the stuff that I grew up with nowadays again, you know, like stuff from the 70s, the 80s, and I don't really follow much what goes on in the actual metal scene at the moment, you know.
Mm-hmm.
For a number of years. I mean, I'm not. I mean, it started in the 80s that I was kind of not really following it. I think it has to do when you start making music yourself that is very loud. You know, you tend to listen to music that is the opposite to that, you know.
María, ¿le has preguntado qué es lo que piensa Kiske de la escena actual del power metal? Dice él de que desde los 80s ha seguido el género y debido pues a algunas cuestiones de alejamiento viendo algunas cosas que hoy en día ha estado recogiendo durante muchos años. El power metal ha disfrutado de un estatus muy alto y en especial lo que se está haciendo actualmente. Hay bandas, por ejemplo, que a través de su crecimiento personal como Elvis, Cara Dillon, cantantes irlandeses han influenciado en cierta manera volver a esas cositas muy interesantes. Que está muy satisfecho del momento que está dando y que muchas generaciones están tomando esto ya muy en serio con este asunto de el power metal.
It's most of the time like stuff that is pretty old that I like, you know. I really like the older Judas Priest records, or I kind of rediscovered the old Van Halen records with David Lee Roth, you know. They seem to be very timeless, you know. It's like I really enjoy those nowadays and stuff. But it's like, especially in the 90s, I kind of lost interest because the metal scene became so very over brutal, you know, with those Slipknot kind of bands and stuff, and the satanic kind of evil attitude. It was just not my cup of tea, you know. I kind of like uplifting rock music more than this kind of negative stuff. And in the 90s, a lot of that stuff came up. I think maybe that's part of why I kind of lost interest, you know.
Thank you so much for your compliment, for your answer. Él nos comenta por acá, además de la música y todo esto del descubrimiento musical, que también hay otras bandas muy interesantes como Judas Priest, los clásicos de Judas Priest, Van Halen, que mucha gente ha sabido disfrutar por generaciones de todo este tipo de música. Por supuesto, hay cosas modernas, en el caso de Slipknot, que mucha gente considera de que este tipo de bandas mantienen les tachan esa actitud de malvados, satánicos y todo esto. Ponerse en ese tipo de prejuicios es como perder el interés, que es lo que nos está comentando aquí Michael Kiske. Rudy Rudes from Mexico City says, "Greeting for you, Michael. I had a lot of respect for you."
I think I'm chatting with her a lot of times on Instagram.
Ajá.
At least it could be her.
Bueno, Rudy, pues la respuesta te ha mandado aquí Michael en este día. Marco from Rome, Italy says, "Cheers for the best vocals from Rome, Italy."
All right, thanks very much.
And a call from Japan, Tokyo, Japan, Hajime Hanai. He's now listening this day. Lot of respect for you, Michael. Awaited moment when you release the live album. Japan is now with open arms. Receive the legend of Helloween.
Yeah, Japan was great. I mean, we've been there last year. We had to add more shows in Tokyo because it was so successful. You know, I think we played about 3 times or something just in Tokyo. So next time we can book bigger places. I love Japan. Japan is always amazing, you know. Great people.
Thank you so much, Hajime. Domo arigato from Honduras. Javier Ignacio Rojas from Chile says, good morning, Michael.
Yeah, right. Chile is also one place that I remember that it was always very exciting. We've been there with Unisonic, I think, definitely with Avantasia, and we've also been there, I think, twice now with Helloween, haven't we? I think we played there twice now.
Ramiro says, I don't have any question for you in this live interview. Many greetings and many hugs from my part, and of course from my girlfriend from Buenos Aires, Argentina. They are happy to hear you in this day, Michael.
All right, yeah. Argentina is also a very special place. Again, it's like the country in South America that is most European in a way. It's like it looks, you could mistake it for a European country when you're there, you know. So all the countries in South America have their own personality and individualities, you know, and Argentina is very special as well.
Saludos a la gente en Argentina. My friend Milan from Paraguay sends greeting for you in this day and says, greetings and big hugs for you from Paraguay.
All right, cool. Greetings back.
Bueno, saludos por aquí, Milan. Ya te están escuchando por acá en este día. Michael, we had a special question for you. Like example, many bands have special characters through the history. Metallica have Chris Burton. In the case of Helloween, we have Ingo Schwistenberg. What is your best memory that you have with Ingo in your time with Helloween in the early days?
I have many memories. I mean, he was just a very sweet person, you know.
Very, very sentimental question in a point of view.
Yeah, it's very hard to say because, you know, it was a number of years, and it's very hard to mark out a specific kind of thing, you know. But I would say like the most exciting memories was the very first American tour we did, North American tour, in '87. You know, we've played there for about 2 months. Like a tour with Armored Saint and Grim Reaper, and in the end it was just Helloween and Armored Saint till the end. And I think those months, especially those times, were like maybe the most exciting when it comes to the face with Ingo. He was also doing well in those days, you know. He was not doing so good later on, but in '87 he was still having everything together, and he was doing well, you know.
Escuchen. Memorias importantes de Ingo, pues dice de que él tiene muchas, pero en especial la más emocionante fue de su primera gira allá por el 87. Estuvieron como 2 meses en carretera, pues con 2 bandas, con Armored Saint y con Grim Reaper. De repente pues la gira tomó algunos cambios y al final de cuentas quedaron con Armored Saint y Helloween manejándose en la carretera. Dice que de los momentos más emocionantes es ver el rostro de Ingo cada vez de que estaba haciendo las cosas, ver ese rostro tan característico. En el 87, dice que él ha sido de las personas quizás de las más carismáticas que ha tenido Helloween en toda su historia, pero que sí tiene muchos momentos muy especiales y muy sentimentales en relación con la memoria de Ingo Schwistenberg. If you have more works in the future, like your side projects, like example Unisonic, Kiske Somerville, Blast Bandom, or your top priority now is Helloween?
Yeah, I mean Helloween. I mean I'm back to my mothership now, you know, and of course that changes everything. I mean, in the years where I wasn't really having a major band, of course you do projects here and there, you know, you get offers, and if it's interesting, that's what you do. But now that I'm back with Helloween, I mean all this stuff is no more, you know. I might be doing, I mean I would love to do a 3rd Unisonic record. That's the only thing that I really, and I might be playing here and there a show with Avantasia, you know, that could still happen. But apart from those 2 things, I don't think that I'm going to do any of the other stuff anymore, you know. Maybe I do an acoustic solo record someday, but at the moment it's just Helloween.
en el punto de que si todo mundo quiere saber si hay más trabajos de Kiske, Unisonic, Praise Bandom o otros proyectos, por ahora les vamos a comentar de que la prioridad principal es ahora con Helloween, pues se siente volver a casa actualmente y que todo esto cambia en el panorama, pero por ahora su prioridad principal es en Helloween y que posiblemente podría salir un tercer disco Unisonic por ahí, o puede salir algún trabajo acústico. Hay muchas sorpresas, es solamente cuestión de tiempo de que las cosas puedan tomar un rumbo muy pero muy interesante. What are your favorite songs from the Andy Darius era?
I really like a whole bunch of songs. I mean, in the Andy Darius era, I like Power, which is really cool. Also, I think A Perfect Gentleman is amazing. You know, so it has a very cool vibe. Forever and One is amazing.
Forever and One,
especially Andy has written a whole bunch of great songs. He's a great songwriter. Also now that we're trying to get songs together with for another Helloween record, he has written some killer tracks already. You know, he's a really good songwriter.
Bueno, amigos, la pregunta y la respuesta aquí se habla sola. Power, Forever and One, hay muchas canciones que él desea cantar con Kiske y que yo sé que mucha gente ha estado muy al pendiente. My friend Guadalupe Ábalos from Mexico City have the nickname of Helloween Pita. She's now listening this live interview in the bed. Is now ill. Had a operation surgery in the recent days. She's now listening this live interview and says, I am now crying, hear you in this day, Michael. Love, devotion and respect for you. Long life to Helloween, says my friend Guadalupe, Helloween Pita.
Very cool, thank you. Greetings back, and I hope he's getting better soon.
Bueno, ya escuchaste aquí, Guadalupe. Un gusto que nos estés escuchando aquí en esta transmisión especial. Currently, you live in Tenerife or Hamburg?
I live in Hamburg.
En Hamburg, ok.
Yeah.
Bueno, Javier, ya escuchaste, en Alemania. Oscar Mejía sends the next question. It's a funny question about a kind of music here in Latin America. What is your opinion about the Latin songs, especially reggaeton? I don't know if you hear this kind of music, reggaeton, hip hop with Caribbean music.
I think I know what it is. I mean, they sometimes when you have these kind of street feasts going, like when people are dancing and stuff, I think that's that type of music, right? Sounds, I mean, as far as I know, it sounds very uplifting and very positive, you know, lots of energy. If that's the type of music you mean, you know, it's like I don't really hear it much other than when it's on TV or something like that. You know, when they have like a news story or whatever, and they play that type of music. But I think I know what you mean. It's very special, you know.
Se maneja un poquito alejado de este tipo de música, pero que cuando dice que hace zapping en la tele, dice que se detiene y mira ese grupo de personas bailando. Pero mejor zapping, así al canal. Esa es la respuesta que te he enviado por acá, Michael Kiske. I had an interesting question about your musical influence, Michael. We know that your influence as vocalist is Elvis Presley. One example is the song Blue Shoe Shoes. Yasmani Ochoa from Apodaca, Mexico City says, have you any plans in May in the future a tribute album to Elvis?
I wanted to do that actually a long time ago, and I actually had we already made plans with the head of Ear Music over here, the label that Unisonic was on. But since Unisonic is on hold at the moment, and we didn't do the third record, it kind of you know fell under the table. It's not really something we're talking about at the moment. But I would love to do something like that one day. You know, my favorite Elvis songs, you know, in a certain way, recorded something like that. I have to do one day. You know, I mean, I have recorded like maybe 200 Elvis tracks. You know, just by playbacks that I got somewhere and stuff like that, because I love singing that stuff. But if I would do a record, you have to do it in a slightly different way to make it interesting, you know. I would love to do something like that. I just don't know when, but something like this has got to happen.
De hecho, se había propuesto por parte de Ear Music, que es el sello donde actualmente está militando Unisonic, que se le presentó una idea de una especie de tributo. En realidad dice de que hay algo por ahí planificado en este momento, pero debido al compromiso con Helloween, pues el punto se ha quedado así como en veremos. Hay diferentes ideas, un total de 200 canciones que pues por ahí se busca entre todo el universo musical que tiene Elvis. Así que hay que esperar. Las sorpresas se pueden dar en algún momento en el futuro. We had a lot of questions in this day, Michael. Oh my God. ¿Cuál es su punto de vista sobre André?
I don't think that I've ever met him. I mean, if I did, it was something that I just forgot somehow. But I don't think that I ever met him. You know, it was. You know, I can't really say much about it because he was on the Avantasia tour when I was not. You know, and I was on the tour when he was not. I don't really know what he was. I know he was in Angra, right? Yeah, I never met him. I don't think I ever met him, you know.
Ha tenido la oportunidad de escucharlo, pero no conocerlo en persona. Él sabía de que...
I think it's very cool that he did this last appearance on Avantasia, you know, just a couple of days before he died. That was kind of a cool thing that he was doing that, you know. I saw pictures where he was on stage with Avantasia.
Dice él de que pues personalmente no tuvo la oportunidad de conocerlo, pero sí que es una gran pérdida dentro del metal a nivel mundial. Él ha tenido la oportunidad de poderlo ver, pero no acercársele a él personalmente, pero que sí en sus días con Avantasia, pues dice él de que tiene mucho respeto hacia lo que es la memoria, o mejor dicho, la figura de André Matos. Martín says, do you have any special moment or special experience in your last tour in Latin America?
Yeah, a whole lot. I mean, I remember that the last thing in Chile was very good. It was a very special show. To me, it was very important that the second time we played in Mexico, we played the same place. When we played there in 2017, it was just us, and I was very sick doing that tour. So to me, it was very important that a year later we got to the same place and played again when I was fine. You know, that was. But South America in general is amazing. It's always amazing. I love the energy, and I think South American people are very beautiful. You know, I think they just have this pure kind of direct, straightforward heart, and I really like that. You know, it's like there's South America has a lot of problems in terms of corrupt politicians and things like that, but the general people, especially the younger people that you can meet there as a musician when you play there, they're almost innocent, you know. They have this innocent kind of pure passion, and it's very special about South America.
En todas las giras que han estado haciendo en Latinoamérica ha sido muy especial, en Chile, en México, en especial en este año 2017, que han estado haciendo todo este recorrido muy importante. Y de repente volver a llegar un año después a otros lugares. Dice de que ha sido una experiencia más que fantástica. Son increíbles y que siempre les gusta intercambiar esa energía, que son una gente especial y hermosa, que pues dice de que lleva en su corazón momentos muy especiales, a pesar de que padecemos de problemas políticos a nivel general aquí en nuestro continente. Las nuevas generaciones que han sabido degustar de la música de Helloween han tenido esa pasión muy especial de conocer a sus leyendas, y que en esta última gira su sueño ha sido ya una completa realidad. Michael, my friend Connie Romero, she's the manager of the Facebook group Helloween Subtitled, en español Helloween subtitulado, asked to you sing a love from Elvis a cappella, in this case Love Letters.
Oh yeah, I mean, Love Letters is one of the songs that I'm actually singing a whole lot of times. You know, I've even got a recording here of it. Just a second. Love Letters is this is my favorite Elvis anyway. You know, 60, 69, 90, 70. That's my all-time favorite. But check it out here. This is me doing that song.
Oh, escuchen.
Love letters straight from you.
Keep us so near while apart. I'm not alone in the night when I can have all the
So you see, I'm doing this stuff a lot, you know.
Yo creo que Connie ya se habrá desmayado, no sé, llamen a un médico si se habrá desmayado por ahí Connie de la emoción. Pero bueno, ahí ya la petición quedó hecha y por supuesto agradezco a la gente de Helloween subtitulado que siempre ha estado por ahí al pendiente de todo esto. Yo creo que ha sido de los momentos quizás más especiales. You can speak Spanish?
No, I don't. I can't. Andy can. Andy's very good with it.
Andy speaks good Spanish.
Yeah, he speaks very well, but I don't understand any word, no. Just see and know.
Bueno, ya escuchaste, Gustavo, se te va a hacer un poquito complicado porque Michael no habla español, pero quien habla perfecto es Andy Davis. What are your expectations now in Helloween, in the future?
Well, I don't worry much about life, because life works, you know. Life is just, I don't know what it is, but there's this kind of force coming together, and it doesn't matter. As soon as we did the first kind of shows, we kind of got it together, and now we know what we're capable of doing, you know. So I don't really worry about life. The record recording is another thing, you know. I'm really curious what this is going to be, you know, if we'll be able to make a relevant record or whatever, you know. This is like a big challenge, I think, for everybody to see what this record is going to be, you know. Mm-hmm. The live situation I don't worry much about, because that works as long as the spirit stays the way it is, you know. It's gonna be cool. But the recording of a new album, that's really a challenge, and I'm really looking forward to see what that's going to become, you know.
Por ahora, mucho trabajo, es lo que nos está comentando. La vida simple y sencillamente es esa, un trabajo. Y pertenecer a Helloween ya es parte ya de una fuerza creativa en manejar esto de hacer álbums, hacer grandes conciertos. Y toda esta unidad y amistad que han tenido con la banda a través de los años. La vida es una. Él se maneja preocupado por mantenerse al día con todo, y en especial con un nuevo disco que están con mucha curiosidad de saber qué cosas van a venir en este nuevo trabajo discográfico. Así que este va a ser un gran desafío a nivel creativo para Helloween, pero que están con mucha expectativa, y que este va a ser un momento muy importante en la vida de todos por igual, porque esto se está haciendo con el espíritu de varios integrantes, y que esto va a ser genial, y que en pocas palabras el disco va a ser un desafío, pero que todo mundo va a estar satisfecho ya una vez que el álbum sea mostrado ya a nivel mundial. What message do you want to send for all the people who hear us in this day, who send questions, greetings, comments, and thank you so much for your time in this live show. For me, was a great honor make this kind of interaction with you and the fans of the band in this day.
Well, thank you too, man. I mean, the love that comes from South America is always amazing. You know, I remember when I had my first experience in South America, which was with Avantasia in 2000. I think 10 or 11, I'm not 100% sure. It was my very first time in South America at all. I mean, in my years of Halloween in the 80s, you didn't go to South America because you just couldn't. You know, there was no real structure. It was nothing you could really do. But nowadays it's very different. You can play there very well, and everything is much better organized and everything. So for me, my first time in South America was with Avantasia. And I will never forget that. You know, it's like when I walked out there on stage and I sang "Reach Out for the Light," you know, with Toby together, and then the reactions of the audiences everywhere where we played was so amazing. They were singing my name, you know, Kiske, Kiske. That was so beautiful, and I'll never forget that. You know, that was like I was like really moved on stage. It was like very, very special. I honestly think nothing is like South America.
Dice él las palabras de Michael para todos ustedes. que es muy sorprendente pues tener muchos fans aquí en Latinoamérica y en Sudamérica. Dice que recuerda muy bien las primeras experiencias que ha tenido en visitar nuestro continente a inicios del 2000 y todo, hace varios años atrás, con Avantasia. Y de repente pues ahora con Helloween va a ser una experiencia más que especial. Han habido algunos cambios en cuestión de estructuras y todo esto, porque él ha sido vocalista invitado por el señor Tobias Sammet, y que dice que cada vez de que Tobias sale al escenario y lo presenta, la gente corea su nombre y las luces se fijan en él en el escenario, haciendo de que esto sea algo completamente memorable. Y ahora con Helloween, señores, las cosas yo creo que van a ser más que históricas, ya con un nuevo trabajo en camino. Michael, thank you so much for your time. In same way for my friend Ute Conrad for made possible this day, this talk with you, and I dedicate this live broadcast from a friend for Helloween Subtitled, and same for you from Honduras, Central America. A big hug. And we share a lot of respect towards to you and the rest of Helloween. Connection Rock Radio had the open door for looking forward in talk again in the future, Michael.
All right. I mean, I'm looking forward to that too. And I mean, I'm very excited to play with the Scorpions for the first time too. It was not really the plan, and it's not a great thing that Dave Mustaine got sick, of course, but to play with the Scorpions, you know, is something special, because the Scorpions were one of those bands I grew up with. You know, I was a fan as a teenager from the Scorpions, and you don't know how long these guys are going to do it. And it's a great thing that we play a few shows with the Scorpions in South America, basically in Brazil. You know, it's just Brazil, but it's going to be amazing, I'm pretty sure.
En la fiesta va a estar, como dicen, el 2x1, a falta de Megadeth, pues Helloween y Scorpions van a estar girando en Sudamérica. Así que amigos, en Sudamérica, disfruten, pueden morir en paz y hagan de esos conciertos una experiencia completamente memorable. Michael, good evening, returning home. Thank you so much. For me, it was a great honor to talk to you in this day.
All right, man. Have a good rest of the day.
Thank you so much.
Okay, bye-bye.